Welcome to my very first dashcam review. This is the Crosstour CR250 car recorder. I'm going to unbox it, set it up, show its features, and show you some recording examples. Only thing I'm not going to do in this video is actually show you me adding it to my car. Once we open the outer box up, we have the "Thank you for choosing Crosstour" message, which I think is a nice touch. Inside the box though, we do have a thank you card with a nice thank you message and a support contact. This is an option to choose between a 16GB SD card or another car charger, but you have to leave a review. It's a nice trade considering SD cards are not included and needs to be bought separately. However, this is only a 16GB card, which isn't all too much. So this is a nice way for them to get a review and offer something that it's just not standard with the kit itself. Underneath that, there is the instructions manual, which explains pretty much all features and functionality of the camera and also the contents. Moving on, next we have, of course, the camera itself. It comes wrapped around plastic and it's just on that little slot over there, which fits quite nicely. Of course, we have the protective plastic covers on top of the screen and on the camera itself, which is very important to remove before usage. Here on the side we have a mini USB. On the other side we have the SD card slots and a microphone. On the website it states it can go up to 32GB SD card slots. You can include much bigger ones than that. The camera itself tilts, and that is a slot where you'd mount the camera on your car. This can tilt as far as that, and it can tilt a little bit down, but I'm not sure why you would ever do that. So inside this last box we have, of course, the mount for your camera that goes in your car with two sticky adhesives, a plastic trim remover to help you tuck away all the cables and remove all the trim in your car, which is a nice addition as some of these kits don't actually include this. And then we have the USB cable and the 4-meter long cigarette lighter adapter. That's to power up the camera itself. It has a USB port included, which is a nice addition as well, as you can see there in the back, and it's just about long enough to route it from the center of your windscreen over down to your dash. On a small note, it's also important to know that this camera doesn't have a battery, it has a capacitor instead. I'm now just about to go and test out the mount on the screen just to see how easy it is to remove it from the actual screen, as I don't plan on leaving this camera on overnight. And it slides in and out quite easily. I don't think I'll have too much problems getting this stuck in. Now back to the camera itself, I'm just about to take off these protective plastics. Although you might want to do this just right before installation on the vehicle itself. However, I'm going to do it now just so I can show you guys more or less the features and a little bit on the quality. I'm now going over all the settings and features of the camera, and because I don't yet have an SD card, it's flashing this message. I do, however, have bought an SD card separately. It's a 64GB SanDisk. Once inserted, make sure to format the card through the dash camera itself for the best results. I'm going through the settings of the camera first. First thing you should do is obviously adjust the time and date on the actual settings themselves. This is really important as the time and date gets stamped on the videos themselves, and it just helps you prove at what time and date things have really happened. The next setting on the camera is the auto power off. Now this is how long the unit will stay on after the camera has been disconnected. You have 3 options: off, 1 minute, or 2 minutes. That is the beep sound and language, which I've already turned the beeping sound off and the language is already in English. Frequency is the refresh rate of either 50Hz or 60Hz. Screensaver is how long the screen will stay on after the camera has been turned on. Just like the auto power off, we have 3 options. After that, the license plate number is if you want your license plate stamped on the video itself. This option I'm on now is the format option, which is to format the SD card. And the last option is the default, which resets all the settings back up. Lastly, we have the video options. So the first option is the resolution, which we have 1080p, 720p and VGA. Of course, the best one is 1080p. Now the file size for some reason is always the same size no matter what resolution you choose, so keep it at the best resolution for the best results. Loop recording is how long each clip should record for. Means it will continuously record, or you can choose between 1, 3 and 5 minute long clips. WDR stands for wide dynamic range, which is for the light conditions, so it performs well at day and nighttime. Exposure just controls how much is exposed. Motion detection is if the camera is left on all the time with your car parked, it will save the recording only when motion is detected. Audio recording is for your audio, which you might as well have on. Date stamp, on or off. It's important to keep it on, like I said before, so you can always prove the time and date on the videos. G sensor. Again, if the recording mode isn't always on and someone bumps into your car, it will save that recording. You can set the sensitivity of it from very low to very high. Parking monitoring just means it will record whilst your car is parked, assuming that the power is of course on. And that's it for all the settings. Now let's have a look at some of the recorded footage.
We about to turn it on.